Four-Wheel Drive Podcast, powered by Tyrepower. We are back for another episode. Got a little bit of a special one coming up. We've got a big bird over the opposite side of me here. Got my friend Callum Jamieson. We'll get to him in just a second. Music by Southern River Band with Let It Ride, bringing us in. The Four-Wheel Drive Podcast on Instagram. All our episodes over at the 4WD Podcast. Jaden, is that up and going again?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, we're all good there.
Yeah, all up.
No worries. Patreon, thank you for your support. If you want to check that out, patreon.com/the Four-Wheel Drive Podcast. And obviously the fourwheeldrivepodcast.com.au for all your voice messages. Still get the ultimate four-wheel drives in. I know they're slowing up, not as regular, but we are getting through them still. And that leaves me with the ultimate four-wheel drive. We've got Jamo over here. How are you, mate? You going all right?
Good, mate. How are you?
Good to see you. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me, mate.
You're a little bit nervous about this.
Oh, I'm not much of a media guy, mate. You've been trying for a while
this
now.
This isn't media, though.
Mate,
it's just you and I having a chat about what you do, what you love, your passion, which is what we share here at the Four-Wheel Drive Podcast, obviously.
Yep.
Mate, I'm going to get straight into it. So for those that don't know, Jamo and I, we've been mates for, geez, how long have you been there now?
6 years.
6 years. So met through football, teammate of mine. And he is a fellow avid four-wheel drive camper. Not that I'm a fisherman or a diver or a jet ski dude or a chewy, but that's what you're into, mate. And at the club, you're one of the leaders in that. So I thought, why don't we get you on, chat a little bit about what you're into, and it's good to see you wearing your Yellowstone Duck Ranch hat too. That's just a bit of a country boy at heart. Now, mate, I'm going to get into it. So you're driving a 76 series now. I want to bring this up right off the bat because our producer over here, Jados, also known as Morton.
Oh, Morton.
Morto.
Has a 76 as well. We just lined them up out there before. What do you like about his? And Jade, I'm going to ask you what you like about Jamo straight off the bat.
It's good to see another fellow 76er in the car park.
Oh, really good.
Yeah, I reckon Jado's is a bit bigger than mine. So
you reckon?
Yeah, I reckon he's 3 inches.
Just his car or?
Yeah, his car.
Oh, I like it. Size doesn't matter, boys. It's all about what you do with it.
What do you like about Jamo's, Jade?
I really like his drawer set up in the back.
Yeah.
And the custom one that he's done in the...
We will definitely get into
the seats
that.
Out.
Yeah, that.
Also the exhaust.
A little bit of a handyman, the man across from me here, mate. Starting out, how did you? So talk about growing up.
Yeah.
I think this has been a bit of a passion of yours for a long time. You grew up by the beach, surfing a lot. So was adventure camping, four-wheel driving, obviously by the ocean. Was that always something that you've grown up doing?
Yeah, pretty much. I reckon it's got instilled from my parents growing up. We always been camping every year. My parents would try and get away on a camping trip.
Yep.
And I loved it. Mum tells a story about me. I would have been 3 or 4 jumping on the tent when we're trying to pack it up and go home, and I'm crying saying I don't want to leave.
Yeah, right.
So I've always loved it from a young age. And then I reckon what's got me into full driving now is I've surfed from a young age, and a lot of the surf spots are pretty remote and you need four-wheel drives to get there. So as soon as I could get my license, the first car I wanted was a four-wheel drive to obviously get me to the surf spots. And I've surfed basically before school every day since I was as young as I can remember, probably 10 or something. I've always been surfing, and then that's probably what led me into four-wheel driving and getting a cruiser and being on the potty now and hanging out with you, to be honest.
Just sitting next to me in the locker rooms talking shit all day about four-wheel drives. Now, where were some of those trips when you were younger with the fam? Like, where were you heading? Was that by the coast as well, or were you going bush, inland as well?
Yeah, so I grew up in 2J.
That's right. I did know that, actually.
Probably 3, I think.
Yeah.
I don't remember it at all.
Yeah.
Mum and Dad lived out there for a little bit, so I reckon around there a little bit, and then we moved to Perth, and then it was the old Dongara, Kalbarri, north, south trips, but always around the coast. Always around the coast.
And you mentioned your first, like when you got your license, what was your first four-wheel drive?
It was a 90 series Prado.
Ah, really?
Yeah, an old school Prado.
Where's that now?
I sold it to one of my mates. He actually got a ripper deal. I bought it for 10. And did a couple of mods, but nothing that put too much value on it.
Yeah.
And sold it to him for, I reckon, 9. And then 3 years later, he sold it for 14.
Jeez, did you get a cut?
Nah, no cut. And he was always telling me, oh, this is breaking.
Yeah.
Fuck off, mate. He made $5,000 off it.
That's gold. Now, you mentioned surfing as well. So obviously that's been a huge part of your life. And reason maybe that four-wheel driving is a passion now too. But I heard someone in the change rooms the other day asking you about surfing, because we got a new teammate in Jacob Newton in the mid-season draft. And
Pig Dog,
because he backdoor something down, I don't know, in SA. Surfing terms that you would probably understand more than I would, but talk to us about surfing. And I remember that sort of this person asked in the change rooms the other day, like, why didn't you end up being like a professional surfer then if you were so good at it? But talk to us about surfing, and then talk about why maybe footy ended up being the way you went.
I was talking a bit of shit in the change rooms that day. I kind of said I'd be the tallest surfer on tour by
truly.
6 inches or something.
Yeah, how tall are you?
I'm 6'7".
Yeah.
But that was a bit of a cover up. I wasn't that good.
I've seen you surf, mate. You were pretty good. But so that was it. That was daily before school. Surfing was like your thing, and then
that was my passion.
Yeah.
It was daily before school, after school. Mum would come down to the water's edge and be waving and whistling to try and get me out of the water. She was good. She picked me up from the car park at South Trig with breakfast ready and my uniform on a coat hanger, and I wouldn't have a shower. I'd just get out of my wetsuit and put my clothes on and straight to school. So shout out to Mum.
That's commitment.
Yeah, she was good, but I kind of not grew out of it literally, but footy started taking over probably around 16, and then it's hard to combine the two, because obviously footy's pretty physically demanding, and so is surfing. But it's kind of hard to combine the two.
Yeah, and you've had you haven't had the best run over your 5 or 6 years with injury. Yeah. And from experience, I know footy's taxing, and sometimes all you want to do is go and have a surf, but your body's just not allowing it to. So that takes a back seat, which is probably, I suppose, why forward driving though. A little bit less taxing on the body.
100%.
Sit in the cockpit and just go for it.
That's it.
So that first four-wheel drive was a Prado. Then you go to anything else? Straight to the Cruiser.
Straight to the
Cruiser.
The Cruiser, the 76 was always my dream car.
Yeah.
And if I had unlimited money, which I don't, I would buy a brand new one.
Not far off, mate.
That's the dream.
Yeah. That's a dream car is a brand new
76. Yeah. Or 79. I do like eyeing off yours.
Yeah. You do. You've always said that too. You wouldn't mind me. You.
I do like the 79.
I think the 76 is you though. Bit of a surf bus.
Yeah, keep the boards tidy in the wagon.
Now let's pull up a few photos of the 76, Jaden, if you don't mind. We don't have the TV on here. Oh no, there it is. So we've got. Do you want to maybe flick up the ones of just out the front here, and we'll get to the trips after that.
Did we get any photos of it parked up next to Jaden's bus? Or
I did actually. Yeah,
I didn't send them through
though. I'll get that to you so you can put it in. So you're a bit of a handyman as well. I've been to your place. You've got 1,000 tools in the back shed. You love tinkering around. You spend more time in the shed than you do in the house. Talk to us about this rear drawer setup, because you've done a little bit of this yourself, and it's a pretty neat and tidy setup. And it's just you and the lovely Megan. So you only need 2 seats in the bus.
Yeah.
So talk through this rear setup for us.
Mate, I'm not too handy. You've talked me up pretty well.
No,
there.
you are.
I do like tinkering. I wouldn't say I'm too handy.
No, you're better than most. I'll give you that.
Those drawers I didn't make, as everyone will know. They're the King's drawers.
Yep.
I've just popped the logo off. But the setup on the side, basically, there's just an inverter in there. Those switches down the bottom, they power all. There's a 12-volt socket on the roof, and then I've got some rear lights, some side lights on both sides. Another one powers an interior light, and then the 240-volt sockets are powered by the inverter. So I basically just keep a Makita battery charger that I plug into there, and then all my power tools are Makita. So I keep a couple batteries in there in the rear drawers there, and then I've got the rattle gun and the inflator and things like that, which I power with the Makita batteries, and then charge it with that 12-volt inverter.
Yep. And then this little setup here, you've obviously pulled the rear seats out.
Yeah.
And you've got yourself a little box / platform.
Yeah. Oh mate, it's nothing too flash. I just pulled the seats out. I found I didn't use it. Oh, you could have covered out. I could have put some carpet on there and made it look a bit more tidy. But I pulled the seats out because I didn't really use them too much, and it levels with the drawers, so it's easy to slide swags and table and boards and things like that in. And then on the other side is the fridge. So Yeah, it's not, I don't know, it's not reinventing the world, but it does the job for me.
Yeah, it's tidy. Talk to us about that little Makita contraption in there as well that I've never seen or heard of.
Yeah, one of the boys had it the other day. Jack Graham. We went for a full drive up at Two Rocks, and he had this Milwaukee 12-volt or battery powered inflator, and he was pumping all his tires up with it. I've got a one that you connect to your battery, a compressor, an air compressor, your standard one, but it's tucked away, and sometimes it's a bit hard to get out. So I just use the little Makita inflator, and usually you just chatting around. You're not in a rush, so you plug it on, and it charges it. It inflates all 4 tires off one battery. So
right.
Yeah, it's a pretty nifty little tool. It's not too quick. It's not as quick as you.
6 minutes or so.
Probably a bit more.
Bit more.
But
that was 18 up to 40 or something like that.
Something like that.
There.
Yeah. It's not as quick as your compressor.
Yeah.
But yeah,
pretty
it
handy,
does the job.
And dual purpose if you're just using the batteries from your other tools that you've got lying around.
Yeah.
And you don't have a big heavy. No, you're laying there drinking water, bud. You don't have a big heavy, compressor as well lying around. Like mine's just free floating, so I don't know where to put it.
Yeah.
Do you want to go? Have you got the external ones there too, Jaden, so we can have a look at that? This is one of your latest mods, and you've been wanting one of these for a long time. I know you have.
Yeah.
Rear bar. Talk us through that. Talk us through what happened, why you needed this.
Yep.
Bit of a story to it.
Yeah. So one of the first mods I did was my suspension, because I bought the Cruiser pretty stock.
Yeah.
In fact, it was basically fully stock. And the first mod I did was suspension, and you know how you have to categorize your weight on the rear leafs.
Yeah.
So I got plus 500 kilos, thinking I was going to get a rear bar basically in the next month or two, and chuck a spare wheel on and a jerry can and things like that. So I was going to be heavier, and it brings the car down. Anyway, then I started looking into rear bars, and $4,000, $3,000. I couldn't justify the price for a rear bar. And anyway, I put it off, and I put it off for so long, and I didn't get one for 3 years. And so I've been driving around, and then I got 35s actually, and the 35 wouldn't fit on the back door.
Yeah.
So I had no weight at all in the rear, and so obviously I've got plus 500, so the leafs are real stiff.
Yeah, it's a rough
And so
ride.
I've been bouncing around for 3 years, and then as soon as I got the rear bar on, and the spare wheel on the back, it softened the ride a bit, and I've been loving it ever since.
Yeah. So what brand did you go?
Is it Outback? I think it's an Outback accessories.
Right.
Yeah.
You've been wanting one of them for ages. That's good. So you got the lights on the back there. They're all plumbed up to the battery in the back there.
Yep. They're plumbed up to the battery in the back, so you can power them from the cab, or you can power them from the
rear
the back there. Yep.
Have you got? Did that other one come through, Jaden? Yeah, side on. So you got. So talk us through the Snorkel there.
Yeah. I do like the stainless look, but I wasn't too keen on it with the rear facing stano without the ram. I do like the ram look too. So one of my mates is pretty good. You say I'm handy. I'm not that handy. My mate's pretty good. He's made his own rear bar and scrub bars, and he made a bull bar, and he's a good fabby. So he whipped up this Snorkel. He's made a fair few Snorkel in his time.
Yeah.
You know him, old Tig.
Yeah, good man, Tig.
Yeah. He's making a fair bit of cool stuff out of his workshop. He's starting to do a bit of stuff for G Turbo and things like that. But he whipped that up a few years ago, and then we just got it powder coated. So I do like the look of it.
Yeah, it's interesting because you don't see everyone rolling around.
Nah, it's a bit different too. Yeah,
ram head and the stainless. Is it 4-inch?
It's 4-inch, but if I did it again, I reckon I'd go a little bit bigger.
Yeah, you took him 4.5 inch.
Talking about 4.5, which is
he's got some 5.
Which is what you're thinking
We've
of.
been to the shop. He's got some 5s.
He's got some 5s. 5s look massive.
They're big.
Yeah,
they are big
look
straws.
But they do fit well, because you see the Safari Snorkels, they're pretty big too.
Yeah, they are bulky.
And they look good, and it's a big car, so it kind of does suit it pretty well.
So Rhino rack on top, more lights on the side. Those lights are you just went like,
mate, they're marketplace job,
Yeah.
$20.
Yeah.
Some lady out in Bibra Lake or something like that.
Have you done all the wiring for the electrics there? Or was that Crumboss's job?
Crumboss, another one of my mates did most of it.
So you've got a lot of mates in good places, don't you? Like you've got a mate for every single job on the car.
Yeah.
If you can't do it all, you just get them to come in and just
the boys do most of the work.
finish it off.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So you got your stock mirrors. This photo is very recent. Stock mirrors. You got the stock side steps. Any like. Do you want to change them, future, or not really?
Mate, I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty happy with it, to be honest. I was thinking about the scrub bars into the side steps.
Yeah,
they look pretty tidy.
We had a guy ride in the other day.
Yeah.
Scrub bars are a waste of time. The only reason you need them is if you're a farmer or a wanker.
Yeah, right.
And Jaden and I are both sitting there like, oh, well, we're not farmers. So
and farmer being... What are
like
they?
I'm
What's
assuming.
the use?
I don't know. Like I don't even know why a farmer would need them, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
right.
so that makes even more sense to why I would need them. I don't need them because then as soon as Jaden saw, he's like, I actually like that without the scrub bar look. It looks quite it looks quite nice.
It looks clean. The next mod, I reckon, I do need some new suspension. I do.
Yeah,
so,
okay.
and I might go a little bit higher. So
Yeah,
there's any suspension out there.
maybe Tough Dog.
Tough Dog.
Yeah.
Heard they're pretty good.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah, Tough Dogs
Cut
out
that
there.
up, Jaden. Thank you very much. We don't exactly have the front here. We might be able to send one through later, but you've got two spotties on the front, GME stick. It's the thing about this car is, and because I know Jamo, you drive it. I call you a cowboy because you drive it hard, but it's perfect for like what you're using it for. If we flick over a couple of more photos, we've got you doing what you build it for.
Yeah.
And that's travel trips, surf trips with the boys, set up to tow, no worries, which you've done before. So talk to us about, hopefully the first one comes up, is Nalu. Talk us through that trip, what you were camping out of, what's your camp setup when you're normally camping, who are you with? Like this was like, I remember when you went on this trip, it sounded unbelievable. So talk to us about what your camp setup is out of the 76, what you might be towing at times, and how you sort of how do you set the car up when you're on a trip?
Yeah, mate, that's pretty much the setup there. If I'm going away, I've got an old rusty trailer.
Yeah.
That Tyre helped me build a little frame for it.
Yeah.
And I chuck the rooftop tent on it like it is there. Which is handy because then you keep the car pretty free.
So rooftop tent on the trailer.
Rooftop tent on the trailer, and then the camp kind of stays put.
That's home base.
Yeah, so you don't need to pack it up
That's perfect,
every time you need to drive your car.
Yeah.
And Nalu, which is probably my favourite spot along the coast, there's a few different surf spots around. So you do need to drive your car basically every day to get to these spots. So it's good to have a little home base like that, especially if it's out of the rooftop tent. But mate, that's pretty much the setup. It's not really too exciting, but I usually park the trailer up, the rooftop tent's on it. We usually have a little tent there, and Marto's got his swag on his stretcher there.
Yep, under the gazebo.
Under the gazebo.
Are they your panels, solar panels?
Yeah, they're my panels. So if I'm not driving the car for a couple of days, I'll
pull them out.
I'll pull them out and plug them in. I've got a little BCDC in the front, and it's got a little solar Anderson plug. So you just plug it into that, and then that obviously charges. But usually I'm driving it most days. So obviously the alternator and things like that charge it.
Obviously up here. So obviously surfing's a passion, but you love your fishing, your diving. Like you're a water, you've grown up around the ocean. You love it, and you love being in it.
Yeah.
What's your Are you taking fishing rods on these trips as well as your surfboards all in the back, or your dive gear? Like, where are you just storing that all in the back?
Pretty much. Yep. I'll bring it all along. This trip we didn't. We were more chasing waves. This was a fair few years ago. This was 3 years ago. And we actually got a ripper swell. We got Nalu. There's tombstones. The wave is right out the front of this campsite.
Just doesn't sound appealing.
No, it's a gnarly wave. Yeah.
Tombstone.
And we actually got a ripper swell that trip.
Yeah,
but usually taking the whole dive set up and chuck it all in the back.
How'd you learn diving in that then as well? Is that through your family? Is that through mates? Is that what's that? Because that's something I've never been opened up to.
Yeah, mate, I'm not an expert diver at all.
Stop selling yourself short on this stuff, mate. You're good at this shit.
Nah. I grew up in Trig, so basically my life revolved around the water.
That's a beachside suburb for those that don't know, but in
Trig North Beach.
Yeah.
So my life grew up around the water, and then as we started getting older, boys were getting tinnies and jet skis, and we started venturing out off the shore a little bit. Especially Trig. Trig gets pretty busy. It's the number one surf spot in Perth, and you can't get away out there anymore. So, mate, I haven't paddled out there in a couple of years.
Right.
So we'll venture off to a couple of little waves off the shore, and then we started just looking around for crays and fish, and that all came with it.
Yeah, righto. It's cool. It's a cool little thing. Have you got any more there, Jaden? Just one more. I love this. So that's the trailer set up there, obviously, as you're on the move.
Yep, that's a rusty trailer.
That would be like, for me, that's the perfect setup for a young bloke that doesn't need a full camper trailer even, or a camper, or, obviously there's a caravan the next step up, but you see those camper trailers, they're pretty neat. They're still big and bulky-ish.
Yeah.
Whereas this is like really simple, throw your stuff in the back, got a tent on top. Mate, it just makes a lot of sense for a young bloke. You've done it. You've made it up yourselves. Like, it's the perfect setup behind your dream car, and off you go. Boards on top. You got so much room.
Yeah, you're right. Especially when it's just the boys.
Yeah,
and you don't need any glitz and glam or anything. Yeah, we won't shower for a couple of days because we're in the ocean and things like that. Yeah, and Nalu's all self-sufficient, so you need to take your own power and water and food and things like that. You're basically living out of the car. Yeah. So that trailer does the job. Yeah. And it's an hour of corrugations on the way in, so that the trailer actually handles it well.
Yeah. Oh, really? The old rusty bucket goes all right.
The old rusty bucket. You can throw anything at it.
Yeah. There's one more photo that I want to quickly chat through, because this is more of my memory of camping with you, and I know this isn't our trip that we did, but this is similar to the setup that we had a couple of years ago as well. So you camp in a swag as well if you're not towing the trailer. Obviously, if you're a little bit closer to Perth, you rolled a swag out. You didn't have any poles or nothing. I just woke up in the morning and your head was just sitting at
It's basically a sleeping bag.
Yeah, it's a sleeping bag. Just all I could see was your head, no cover, but. I'm assuming this is a little bit closer to Perth. Yeah. Trip with the boys. This is what we've done once or twice as well. But a couple of your favourite spots around Perth to go. If you've got a day or two to take the car out, like where are you heading?
Probably Wedge.
Yeah.
Probably Wedge. Two Rocks is pretty close if you need a four-wheel drive.
Yeah, if you want to just get in the dunes. Yeah.
Throw a rod out or climb around the dunes, but probably Wedge. It's a bit more open beach, and you can cruise along. There's usually some pretty good waves up there. But that's the reason you do it, isn't it? That's the reason you set up your car for the way we have it to get out in the dunes and park up, have a few beers around the campfire with the boys.
Yep. Spot on.
Yeah, that's why we do it. And usually you don't need the tent poles if you've had a few beers. You can just crawl into the sleeping bag.
Don't need much, do you? That's that might be yours behind that little deck chair there, I reckon, next to your car. Is that a van?
That's old Connor West's van.
Oh, it's Westies.
That's Westie.
Right.
There's the True Lux, Zane True's.
Oh, I didn't
even
realise that's True's.
Mate, I actually put it in because I actually thought you were on that trip, but you must have been on the next one.
Who else is there? Is that Shuey?
That might be Shuey's Lux before he did it up. But yeah, there's a few of the boys.
Yeah, nice.
Boys' cars there. There's a good crew of full drivers at the club.
There is a great crew. Yeah, we've got. We've lost a couple recently, but we've gained a couple as well. Gone but not forgotten, obviously.
We've lost the team mascot and the True Lux.
Yeah, we've lost the biggest redhead of them all. Yeah. So moving on now. So trips wise that you've done. So Nalu's obviously one of your favourite spots. Where else is a spot that you love and you can go back to every time? Wedge being a bit closer, but if there's a bigger trip that you've done, you spend a lot of time down south as well. Yeah. And then give us a dream trip to do, like something that's on the bucket list. You can't wait to get out there and try.
Yeah, mate. As I said before, it revolves all around the ocean. Yep. So all my trips in WA, which is basically the only spot I've taken the car, I haven't taken it interstate or anything like that, have been along the coast. Nalu's the furthest north. Yep. And then I've done a trip with my old man. Basically, when I first got the cruiser, we went from Perth through Coolgardie to Kalgoorlie, straight down the bottom to Esperance, and then along the coast. Yeah, right. And probably my favourite spot along that whole coast from Esperance back to Perth was probably Bremer Bay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I still haven't been there.
Yeah. just a bit quieter than the rest of the towns.
Yeah.
But yeah, an amazing place.
Yeah. Have you been there,
amazing place.
Morton?
Bremer Bay.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Did you rate it?
Beautiful. Yeah, it was elite.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Our other.
I really rated Esperance as well, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
is sick.
yeah. There's a few men in great suits around
Yeah,
those ways. Though I
yeah,
get a
it's
bit
a bit
paranoid
scary.
around those ways.
Yeah.
That whole sort of coast. Oh, anywhere. Well, Nalu would be just as bad, wouldn't it?
Oh, mate, my theory is they're well fed up there.
Oh, okay.
They're well fed and they're way more tame.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Whereas down south, it's a bit darker water.
Yeah.
Oh, it gives me the
Gives you the
gives me
heebie-jeebies.
Yeah. Well, did you see the crocodile that was up at Ningaloo?
Yeah,
You brought that
how
up
was
the other
that?
week, Duggo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
Winter
fucking
Bandy
wild.
Point, they spotted the crop.
Yeah.
Have you
Not
been
that
up
long
there,
ago.
Jamo?
Nah. Nalu's the furthest I've kind of ventured, but it was Crockett Exmouth too.
Yeah, well,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
Which
That's
is wild.
crazy.
That's wild.
That's not far
scary
off
stuff.
Nalu.
And that Windrabandy Point, like that's caravan central. Like so many young, like families will be camping along there. Like I
Mate,
think
we
I
used
don't
to
know
go
how
there.
many, one or two.
We used to go there as a family every Easter.
Oh, is that your
yeah.
spot? Was
Yeah,
it
that's the spot. Went there 2 years ago.
from directly across from Newman, basically, isn't it? I suppose.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Oh, you went there 2 years
kind
ago.
of. No, mate, I've been there 2 years ago,
Oh,
3
shit.
years ago, 4 years
Yeah,
ago. I
right.
go there all the time.
Yeah,
so
right.
when he said there was a croc out there, I shat my pants a bit.
Yeah,
Now I probably won't go
Well,
back.
Just maybe put the drone up before you get in.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think about
You wouldn't even
Crocs out
see it,
those
eh?
ways,
Nah.
Nah, not at all. Not at all.
No,
Mate,
that's
times are
way too
changing.
far south, but
What did they put it down to? A sick croc or climate change or
let's just say a sick croc. Climate change tends to kick off on here.
An adventurous croc.
Sometimes it's sometimes the real big topics come with like because I got no idea about them.
Yeah, mate, neither. We won't venture into it.
When were you at Nalu, Jamo?
What's that?
When were you at Nalu?
Mate, my last Nalu trip would have been probably 3 years ago. Yeah.
I was up there around the same time.
Oh, there you go, mate. You probably were dropping in on me.
Mate, I saw
You're
another good 76 up there.
There you
Maybe
go.
it was.
It was probably us.
Could have been there.
Thought I gave you a wave.
Yeah, I mean, I would have given one back for sure.
I got
was
away from a
76 culture.
79 today.
Did ya?
Loved it. Sandy too.
You love that.
Oh, and I was staring at his car. I barely saw the wave. I didn't see it till real late.
Then you see the fingers pop up.
Yeah, because I hadn't had many waves yet. I'd been a bit disappointed.
Yeah.
Are you waving?
I waved like late to him. I was like,
But are you initiating the wave, or are you waiting for the wave to come?
oh,
to
I'm
you?
waiting because they don't even look at me, to be honest. I think because I'm maybe a new one. Sometimes they're like, you're not a real deal, mate. Sorry.
Yeah, a city crawler.
Well, that looks
Which
like,
is what you are at the moment.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Plastic forward driver.
This is deserving.
you still haven't got it off road?
Nah, 5,000 Ks and haven't taken it off road.
Duggo.
I go to the footpath sometimes. it's a bit hard to park, but that's about it.
Have you got something planned? We got the 4-day break coming up. Have
We
you,
do.
Have you got
Actually,
any
I'm going to
ideas?
ask you what you're thinking. Oh, no,
Nah.
you said you think you might have to train.
Yeah. I might have rehab duties, so I might be hanging around.
I
But
don't know if you will. I might fight for you.
surely you're thinking of getting it dirty.
I actually am, yeah. We had some plans partly not fall through, but we're like, let's just leave that till another time.
Yeah.
So I do have a couple of days.
Oh yeah. Oh,
If
you might.
Jaden lets me leave here,
Yeah.
keeps
Oh.
dragging me in to do these.
Mate, this was your idea.
Wasn't my idea.
No, Jamo was screaming, telling me to get me on. We didn't get your dream 4-wheel drive trip. Where's like a place you really want to go urgently? Even if you had a month or two to do it, like where's the dream trip?
I would love to do a bit of Tassie.
Ah, great call.
Yeah, I would love to do a bit of Tassie.
Great
And is it the Spirit of Tasmania, that the
Yeah,
boat
you
that
can
takes your
jump on
car,
from-
car over?
Yep.
I'd love to do something like that.
Yeah.
We've been there once. Well, I've been there once for footy.
Yeah.
And I loved the countryside.
beautiful
Yeah, real
place, isn't it?
green, fresh air.
Yeah.
And I've heard some really good things about Tassie. So it'd be good to cruise around, do a bit of the
Yeah.
island, and it'd be good to do it in the cruiser. So probably Tassie, but
Yeah.
it's a long way from North Beach.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's probably as far away as you could get. But I mean, like you say, you punch over to Melbourne in 3 days. You get on the ferry.
Yeah,
You're there within 5 days.
yeah.
Like then you're on your way.
Then you're on your way.
It's not too hard. It's not out of reach, mate.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not out of reach.
What's your dream?
Just to go camping, it'd be nice. To be honest, nah, I don't know. I'd love to go, which we might be doing this year. Which you're probably more than welcome to come along, actually. But it's a long way from the beach, also.
Yeah, okay.
but no, we're hoping to do a desert trip, big desert trip, Amberdell, WA to SA.
Right. Yeah.
Through the middle of the desert, 1,300 k's on a desert highway.
Right.
I think for me, because I've done a little bit of beach, done a little bit of bush, not heaps, but with similar places, and it's I think like a big desert trip, being really off grid, is like a dream for me.
Yeah, like that.
So we're like proper excited, Jaden and I, at the moment, trying to figure out if this is actually can happen or not.
When
it's
are you
happening.
thinking? September or October or something like that?
October.
October.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, unreal.
Yeah. So.
And your number one spot you've been? Don't say the Bacchus Marsh. Is it WA or Vic?
It's a number 2. No, well, all my forward driving and camping, a lot of that, well, most of that's been here.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
I loved, even though I was at a campground, like a caravan park, basically, like 80 Mile Beach, been up near Broome.
Yes.
And up there. And I actually, sorry, that was cool. Pilbara is my favourite.
Yeah, okay.
Still my favourite that I've done out there. Camping there, couple of different spots through the Pilbara, the colours, just the ruggedness. Like you feel remote, and then you pass a big mine, and you're like, it's not that there's 4,000 people in there, but then you go 50 k's past it, and you're like, you're back just
in the middle
amongst
of nowhere,
everything, and just the colours of a sunset there.
Yeah,
that's what we've spoken about that at length on this podcast, but that's like proper.
Yeah, okay.
Pilbara. Have you done?
Nah, not much of that.
I'm put that number 2 on your list.
Yeah, okay.
It's awesome.
That's a bit closer than Tassie too.
Yeah. Well, that's like, what is it, Jaden and Newman? 12?
Yeah, about 12 hours.
Back to the homeland.
Probably like 13.
Is that where Ronnie is at the moment? Is he in the Pilbara?
He did the Canning Stock route recently.
Yeah, right. Okay.
So I
saw a bit of that.
Yeah, he'd be back. He's back now. But yeah, he was on that trip, which is huge. That's like a big trip, and even for him, like his excitement levels at the start of that for like because he's done desert and that before, like all the other ones. But he's like the Canning Stock route's like a real sort of like, it's almost like a badge of honour once you finish it. Like that's proper
You need
travel.
to tick it off.
So he was pumped about it.
Oh yeah. And what did he do it in? Did he do the 76? Did that go on the trip?
He took the 76. He took 79, which someone else drove. Our mate Rafa.
Yeah, right.
And then there was another 79. So there was 2 of the 2.8 litre cruisers on the trip.
Right.
Yeah.
Has he got a 76 and he's still got
He's got a 2.8 76 and a V8 79.
Must be nice.
He's got a Prado.
Oh, must be very nice.
It is
the old
extremely
fleet.
nice. It's actually extremely nice to know him.
Yeah.
It's even good to know him.
Testing all the cars vicariously through him.
Yeah. I don't even need to ask you whether beach or bush. I know you beach.
Yep.
What I do want to, we won't hold you up much longer, but obviously football takes up a lot of our time, and you are currently training to be a helicopter pilot.
Yeah.
So I don't even know where you got into this, but is this another way of just taking you to surf spots? Like, why did you get into this?
Mate, I don't know, honestly. I always had a fascination about flying. I reckon I associated flying with holidays.
Yep.
And so...
You didn't mind holidays either.
Yeah, I didn't mind holidays. So that's, I don't know. I always had a fascination with aviation and flying and things like that. And then, obviously, as you said, while you're at the club, they're pretty big on pushing you to do something else outside footy. I decided to start my commercial pilot's license. I'm early days. Yeah. I've got an exam in a couple of weeks on aerodynamics.
Which we were practicing for the other day, weren't we?
Duggo was hitting me up with a few questions.
What do you call... Oh, studying.
Studying.
Yeah.
What do you call studying?
What do you call practicing books? Studying.
Eventually, hopefully, it'll be another means to get you to the ocean and some surf spots. It'd be pretty cool to combine the two.
And so your goal is to become a commercial helicopter pilot.
Yeah.
Which entails a few more hours than just a recreational license.
I think the private license is around 60.
Yep.
Or 70 maybe, and the commercial license is 105.
Yep.
Yeah. So I've got a fair bit to go.
Yeah. So you're saying you've got more hours than you do book work, but you're punching out the book work while it's a little bit easier time wise, and then hours can come, but it's also, and don't say any of the numbers, but it's a very expensive traineeship, basically, isn't
for
it?
sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah.
I
Which is no different. It's no different to uni or like something like that. But like it's crazy because if you were doing, say you weren't playing footy and you were doing uni and you were becoming a helicopter pilot, like it's crazy
It'd be
amounts of
pretty
money.
hard.
Yeah.
If you weren't born into money, it'd be pretty hard. But
yeah.
most of my paychecks go into the
Going
flying
into-
hours. But yeah, I love doing it. As I said to you the other day, I'll probably shoot straight to the library after this and do some study. But as I said, like I'm taking myself home from the library because I'm so interested in it.
Yeah,
You want to keep doing it, which is something pretty exciting.
Yeah.
I'm happy I found a passion like that outside footy and
I'm kind of
having beers on the beach and things like that.
It's just like, mate, I just want to duck down south, mate. You mind picking me up?
Well, you might be soon. You might be going for a flight soon.
Yeah, well, that's the plan. Yeah. It's in a plane, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Benzo was trying to.
Oh, it's your mate as well. See, he's got mates everywhere, this bloke. He's got a pilot mate. He's got big snorkel mate. Mates with the G Turbo boys.
Ronnie's my mate now with a couple of cars.
Is your mate. Stewardy's not here, actually. He'd be sitting right there asking you questions. The other thing I forgot to mention, I'd had it written down here, but you know how I said you're a handyman, which you are. Don't sell yourself short. You have a crack at most things anyway. Was that just you tinkering? Was that following your old man around? Was that being with your mates that know this stuff, that are tradies or into their cars and fabricating and all that? Like, where's all that sort of harbored from?
Yeah. Mate, I reckon it's probably started from me being a cheap bastard. And,
Gotcha.
and going,
That makes a lot of sense now.
Not going to go spend so-and-so on this when I can try and do it myself.
Yeah.
And more times than not, you'd probably fuck it up and you'd learn. And so it's pretty good working on your car because you're always learning things.
Yeah.
And then when you're out in the bush and you're on one of these trips where you can't go get your car serviced, you do have somewhat of an understanding.
Yeah. Which you've done some bush mechanics in the little bits.
Little bits.
Yeah.
Nothing. I can't even think of anything. But
Yeah. Oh, no. I remember you telling me once that you got, I don't know what it was, I've forgotten, but I remember you were like in a bit of a hairy situation.
Yeah, probably. And it was probably from my wrongdoing too.
Maybe.
But yeah, and then the boys, like they're doing trades and things like that. And I was
Yeah.
talking about Tyre before and the things he's doing out of his workshop. I do have an interest in that and I like going to see what they're doing. So a lot of the time I try and give it a crack myself. And if I get stuck, it's, hey boys, give us a hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're very much the same, aren't you?
I try to be. I'm not as good as you though. Like I'd come to you for advice still, but I have a crack at a few things like wiring up my reverse camera. Like you can't go. If I get it wrong, I just take it to Crumboss. like it's easy, you can't really stuff it up. But
No, it's the same. It's the same ideology as what I have
but like
too.
you even building your drawers and that, like, that's cool to me. Like I haven't had a crack at anything like that before. So, it is good. Lastly, what's your coffee order?
Mate, it's a bit obscure at the moment.
Yeah.
I've been off the coffees and I've been on to the matches.
Yeah, I just wanted you to say that.
I knew he set me up. I knew he set me
I just
up.
remember as we were studying your books the other day, drinking a green matcha. I was just like, what's this all about?
Mate, it started from Japan. It's a traditional Japan tea, basically.
Oh, don't make me sound like a...
Nah. I cop
Japanese.
a bit of shit from the boys at the club.
Well, it's just like he sits there with his scrambled eggs and a matcha. It's just like, that can't be going right. Like, they can't be tasting good together. But
Have you had one?
Yeah, I had a sip of yours.
What did you say? Soily, earthy or something?
No, I didn't mind it.
Yeah.
I didn't mind it. It's not horrible. I just don't know I just can't. Anyway, I don't know where you're having a matcha up at Nalu when you're camping with the boys
It's a bit different, isn't it?
off the jet boil.
We'll cut that one out, Jaden.
Jaden, have you got anything else for Jamo so we can let him go to the library or...
Oh, if Jamie wants to go to the library, mate,
We
better
let him go, mate. Thanks for coming on. I mean, this wasn't exactly your ideal situation, but I hope you felt comfortable having a chat about, because it's like we need to change it up in here too. So hearing someone else's story other than Jaden, Ronnie, and I just talking about our Toyotas, even though you've got a Toyota.
same as me as well.
Yeah, same as Jaden.
What's your future trip plans, Jamo? What do you got coming up?
Mate, I'm planning something at the end of the year with the missus, but we're not sure. We've thrown up New Zealand, we've thrown up Sri Lanka, Vietnam, maybe there's a bid on the table, but we're thinking something overseas. Yeah. Somewhere I can't take the cruiser.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
We'll take that for you, mate, and take it across
Doug
the
will hold
desert.
on to it.
You take it.
If my car's not ready, I might actually. We'll let you get out of here, mate. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate it. It's been a long time coming, actually. I've been talking to you about this for ages, so nice to actually have you in studio. And we'll let you get studying. And that's the Full Drive Podcast powered by Tyrepower. Thanks, mate.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, boys.
No worries.
Ta.